I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
We will forge a society that is colorblind, and as of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Trump may be the 47th president, but he sure knows how to handle woke reporters. Watch as he effortlessly shuts down their ridiculous questions and gives them a reality check. But before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more moments like this.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today.
And here we go, the typical woke reporter trying to set the tone with an attack.
You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from.
You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort.
So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you,
why should black voters trust you?
After you have used language like that.
Whoa. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more absurd, the reporter drops this bomb. But Trump's response, absolutely savage.
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network.
Boom. Just like that, Trump turns the tables on the reporter's lack of respect. He wastes no time firing back, calling out the disrespect before they can even get into their gotcha questions.
I've done so much for the black population of this country. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was
Mr. President,
wrong.
I would love if you can answer the question on your rhetoric and why you believe
I have
that
answered
black
the
voters
question.
should trust you with another.
I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln.
That's my answer.
He's not done. Trump doesn't back down. He doubles down. He points out the disrespect, calling them out for everything from being late to their equipment failures, all while keeping that confident, almost mocking tone that only Trump can pull off.
For you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a...
Talk about a masterclass in handling these reporters. But wait, there's more.
Why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them?
Are you ready?
Oh, the classic CNN question. But Trump's having none of it. He's already got his comeback ready. No hesitation.
Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to... You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
You're a nasty person. Simple, effective, and straight to the point. The crowd loved it. And now let's shift gears to a debate stage moment that had everyone talking.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway.
Do we want someone with that kind of character, that kind of careless language to be negotiating with Putin? Do we want someone like that to be negotiating with Iran? I think really there's a sophomore quality. I'm very concerned about having him in charge of the weapons because I think his response, his visceral response to it, people on their appearance.
Short, tall, fat, ugly. My goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? Would we not all be worried?
To have someone like that in charge of the person.
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
The crowd knew exactly where that was going.
That I can tell you. But Jake,
I want to give Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
Here we go again. Another reporter trying to drag him into the mud.
Your Twitter account.
Only
has
Rosie
several-
O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees. Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president?
The big problem this country has is being politically correct.
Look, the left is all about twisting words to fit their narrative. Trump doesn't care about being nice. He cares about being real. We need more of that, not this fake posturing that gets nothing done.
Did you use that $916 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes?
Of course I do. Of course I do. And so do all of her donors, or most of her donors. I know many of her donors. Her donors took massive tax write-off.
So have you not paid personal federal income tax?
A lot of my write-off was depreciation and other things that Hillary, as a senator, allowed. And she'll always allow it because the people that give her all this money, they want it. That's why. See, I understand the tax code better than anybody that's ever run for president. Hillary Clinton, and it's extremely complex, Hillary Clinton has friends that want all of these provisions, including they want the carried interest provision, which is very important to Wall Street people, but they really want the carried interest provision, which I believe Hillary's leaving. I absolutely used it, and so did Warren Buffett, and so did George Soros, and so did many of the other people that Hillary is getting money from.
If she had a problem, for 30 years she's been doing this, Anderson. I say it all the time. She talks about healthcare. Why didn't she do something about it? She talks about taxes. Why didn't she do something about it?
She doesn't do anything about anything other than talk. With her, it's all talk and no action.
In the past,
and again, she has made bad judgment not only on taxes, she's made bad judgments on Libya, on Syria, on Iraq. Great job.
I want you to be able to respond, Secretary Clinton.
Here's the woke reporter acting like he's never heard of tax deductions. It's not a scandal, buddy. It's how the system works. Keep playing the victim, maybe you'll get a participation trophy.
One of the things I noticed tonight, and I've known Hillary for a long time, is this is the first time ever, that Hillary is sitting down and speaking to major corporate leaders and not getting paid for it. You know, last night I called Hillary a nasty woman, but this stuff is all relative. After listening to Hillary rattle on and on, I don't think so badly of Rosie O'Donnell anymore. In fact, I'm actually starting to like Rosie a lot. And I got the chance to meet the people who are working so hard to get her elected. There they are. The heads of NBC, CNN, CBS, ABC. There's the New York Times right over there and the Washington Post. They're working overtime.
Trump and the media always have a fiery back and forth, but this one's a knockout. Watch as Trump takes down this reporter with ease.
The statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign in the midterms. That
Here we go.
That, well, if you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's
a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants' election to try to keep?
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process.
Your campaign.
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
But your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
Well, that's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. These were people. This was an actual, it happened a few days ago. And
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
President, that's enough.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not
like
a big
the rest
fan of yours either, so
I understand.
To be honest.
So let me ask you a question if I can. You repeatedly said
you aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly over the course of the...
just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people.
Just like that, Trump cuts through the nonsense. And that's a wrap for today's video. If you enjoyed watching Trump go toe-to-toe with the media, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more raw reactions and real talk. Until next time, keep questioning the narrative.